We are back with another daily reflection on the Daily Vedantic. Today's episode is on what is real. Prepare to get trippy. What is real? If I were in a room with you right now and I said, name something that's real, you might look around and, well, first you'd probably laugh because that's so easy. And then you'd look around and maybe you'd put your hand on a table in front of you and say, well, this is real. And your rationale for what is real would be, well, you can touch it. And you and I can both perceive it. You can hold it. Feels solid. My hand stops when it knocks on it, so it must be real. Vedanta does not define reality based on what we perceive. And there's a simple reason for that. It's so simple. As a culture, as society, we never even talk about this example. And yet, every day we experience it. The example that the Upanishads have talked about for thousands and thousands of years. There's been a portion of the Vedas that go back to 6,000 BC in the last few years that we found. So one of the oldest concepts within humanity is around the dubiousness of trusting our perceptions. And here is the example. Last night when you were asleep and you had a dream, in that dream you perceived an entire world, much less objects that were not real. Now, I'm not saying that something is or isn't real. I'm not saying that that table in front of you isn't real. That's not what I'm saying in this episode. What I do want to point out, though, is there is something severely lacking in only using our perceptions as the arbiter of what's real. To continue in this example, during that dream, you might have dreamed that there were 4 walls in a room, other people, the ground, the floor, shoes, other people and all of their different articles of clothing, conversation, sounds. This whole time you're projecting this entire universe that you thought was real in that dream. And this wasn't 10 years ago. This isn't someone else's experience. This is, for many of us, hours ago, where you were sure what you were perceiving and that realm that you were in was real based on your perceptions. Vedanta is such a rational philosophy. It's not asking anyone to make any leaps of faith. It's simply pointing out, during that dream, right before you woke up, you swore that world was real. You were projecting the whole thing, and you didn't even know what was going to happen. You didn't know what people were going to say, what drama was going to unfold, and yet you were creating the entire universe. Projecting it, manifesting it, all in your mind. And what the Vedas are saying, what the Upanishads, the end portion of the Vedas, where all of the crystallized philosophy belongs, this philosophy is saying that this waking state is just an elevated version of that dream. That reality is so much more infinitely ornate than the room that you're in right now. Language is so limited to even try to describe it that it's simply just described as awareness itself or consciousness itself. Diving into what the Vedas describe as reality is for another episode. But right now in this practice of Vedanta, of questioning everything, not taking anything for granted, and reflecting each day, the only thing that I would like to provoke within us is this question of, can I trust my perceptions to be the arbiter of what is real? Especially when every day, maybe multiple times, if you remember various dreams that you had, every day we wake up from an experience where our perceptions had nothing to do with reality. Throughout history, we have so many examples where something that felt intuitive, like the earth being at the center of the universe and the sun obviously spinning around us because you look up and you see the sun going around the earth, only to realize, wow, that was way off. In fact, the exact opposite is true. We were going around the sun, not the sun going around us. We have so many examples in human history where it seemed obvious that something was true, and it turned out not to be the case. And one of the oldest ideas in human history, one that I had never really listened to till about 10 years ago, is all around this question. Just because you can perceive it, does that mean it is real? That is today's daily reflection on the Daily Vedantic. In next episode, we're going to dive into what this philosophy says is real. So smash that like, subscribe button, make friends in the comments, and we will see you next time on the Daily Vedantic.